This video shows how INFAConnect empowers you to build and deploy connectors in the Intelligent Data Management Cloud, or IDMC. We'll start by walking you through the process of creating a connector. First, we'll search for a connector. If the connector isn't available, we'll show you how to create it. We'll register and build the connector using the Informatica Connector Toolkit or a Swagger file, deploy the connector to the sandbox environment, promote the connector to the production environment, and finally, list the connector on the Informatica Marketplace. Let's get started. On the INFAConnect homepage, we'll search for an existing Salesforce Slack connector. We can see if a connector is licensed or unlicensed. Licensed connectors are available and ready to use in your organization. Unlicensed connectors are available, but your organization needs a license before you can start using it. Some connectors come with free trials, so you can try them before buying a license. We have several available Salesforce connectors, but we don't have any for Slack. So let's refine our search. It appears that the Salesforce Slack connector isn't available. But that's no problem. Developing a connector is easy with INFAConnect. With just a few clicks, INFAConnect helps you seamlessly build, deploy, and promote connectors. You can use the Informatica Connector Toolkit or a Swagger file to build a connector. If the connector uses JDBC drivers, third-party libraries, or REST APIs, you can use the Informatica Connector Toolkit. You can also build a connector with a Swagger or OpenAPI JSON file. In this demo, we'll create a Slack connector using a Swagger JSON file. First, register the connector to reserve its name. Next, we'll enter the Swagger details for the Slack connector. When you submit the Swagger details, INFAConnect automatically develops the connector and deploys it to the sandbox environment. You can monitor the progress on the connector details page. The deployment process includes an automated check of the connector package with antivirus and vulnerability scans and package structure validation. Great! The connector is deployed to the sandbox environment. When you create a new connector in Administrator or Data Integration, the Slack connector is now available as a connection type. You can test the connector in your sandbox account in IDMC. When you create a mapping in Data Integration, you can view the available objects in Slack. Now we're ready to promote the connector to the production environment. From the INFAConnect Manage Connectors page, go to Sandbox Deployments. Find the Slack connector and promote it. On the Production Deployments tab, we can see that the connector is queued for deployment to the production environment. At this stage, you can withdraw the connector from production deployment if needed. When the status changes to locked, you cannot withdraw the connector. If you don't make any changes, the connector is deployed to the production environment. If you want to showcase a connector's capabilities to a broad audience of Informatica users, you can list the connector on Informatica Marketplace. Include connector details, multimedia content, technical capabilities, and support information to increase understanding and interaction. After you submit the connector to Informatica Marketplace, you can edit, preview, and view the status of connectors you've listed on the Marketplace page. When the Informatica Marketplace team finishes evaluating the connector for compliance with guidelines and standards, the connector is listed in the Marketplace. And that's it! You're all set to create and manage connectors with INFAConnect. For more information, see Introducing INFAConnect on the documentation portal.